it's Beckham. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, that's the kick starter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise, because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. On second down, here's Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
So out now come the Redskins. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. With that incompletion, let's discuss all the overtime games that we've had so far in the NFL. We've had 9 of them, at least one each week. Now, week 6, it was Miami and the Bears with the Dolphins getting the win.
Yeah, and you know something? That's an NFL record. Because that record was set week 5, an overtime game each of the first 5 weeks of the season. Now we're adding to the record, and I wouldn't doubt at all that we would get to 7 weeks and maybe beyond. It's been a very competitive NFL season.
Escaping the pressure right. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On first down, Smith. Flush to his right. Complete. Richardson has it.
Boom!
Still fighting through tackles. 23 yards on the play.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it first and goal at the 6. Again, Smith. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Well, following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, this gives us a chance to look ahead to some big Week 7 games upcoming. New England, Chicago, that's intriguing. Carolina and Philly, you have that game. And then how about Dallas and Washington? They're a combined 6 and 5, but they're playing for first place in the NFC East.
And just think, Dallas and Washington fans, when they have children, the first words they teach them are, we hate that rival team. And now they're going to get after it for first place in the East. The records aren't great, but the rivalry is strong. New England, Chicago. Chicago let one get away last week against Miami.
And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Harris now to return. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balance.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon, You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. 1st and 10 at the 19. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, it's Madden. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good headed scheme going.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Washington. In for the score. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a